Welcome to Podnutz Daily, episode number 213. And today we're joined with Door to Door Geek, Steve McLaughlin from doortodoorgeek.com. Hey, Steve.
Hello, Steve. Hope you had a good New Year.
It was good. It was good. I mean, it was one of my more fun New Years because I live broadcasted with Mike Smith from the Mike Tech Show. So that was an experience, and it was a lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, I did catch a little bit of it, but I didn't catch you guys singing.
Thank gosh. I mean, I had to drive home, and of course, I took plenty of time to sober up. I was perfectly fine when I drove, but I couldn't get hammered to the point of no return. So, but it was at Mike's house, so Mike could drink whatever he wanted, and he just wanted to start singing. So we sang and. We sang American Pie, which I know from my college days all the words to. So we sang that, and that was fun. And then Mike went off on, was it Neil Diamond? No, not Neil Diamond. Frank Sinatra. He was Frank Sinatra. Just kept singing.
Frank. Oh, Blue Eyes.
Yeah, you missed it. I don't know if we have that on tape, actually, which is might be
I hope so.
No, it might be a good thing that it's not. But all right, let me get rid of this title bar here. There we go. And for those of you who don't know, Podnutz Daily is a show where we have on computer repair technicians from all over the world come on and discuss jobs and that they've been doing lately and tips and tricks for the computer repair field. And Door to Door Geek is one of our masters. So teach us, Door to Door Geek. What do you have for us this week?
Oh, well, I'm just a fat guy that has endless lust for computer technology and learning. There's nothing special there, trust me. What I have today is I tried to make a complete list of everything that I use in what I call phase one of working on a computer.
Okay, phase one. What's phase one?
Right. I basically break it down into three phases. Phase one is as soon as you get the computer, there are certain tasks that you're going to have to do. On some computers, you do certain tasks, but on all of them, you always do a certain set of tasks to them. Phase two is tightening down the hatches after the fact, like a antivirus, sandbox IE, and the third final stage is like the final prep of making sure what the end user wants to work does work. Everything is as clean and as neat as it can possibly be. Page defrag, hard disk defrag, swap file is set accurately, little things like that. But in phase one, it is like the most diverse types of tools and the sheer volume of the tools, as everybody's going to hear, I think is really big. But I can also tell you, I know I missed a couple tools that I use. I know everybody's going to say, well, you didn't mention this, or that. I wanted to focus on tools I use, mainly because if Steve asks me a question about them, I can answer. I don't like commenting on things I don't at least have a good grasp on how they work. Sure. So this is like all the tools I use to, test the hardware, do my scans, do my cleanups, get rid of unwanted software, things like that.
When would you go into phase one? On just a standard repair? You do this for everything, or a virus cleanup?
When I know this is a virus cleanup, I will use most of the tools in this list. When it's just, can you look at my computer, and then I think there might be a virus, I'll still use probably a good 2/3 of the spyware, malware, rootkit related tools that I'm going to mention. I've not said in the past, but I do have a paranoid pace of running scans. Because it's so easy to be fooled by what I call a false, which is you run a scan and it says it's clean.
Right.
You can never be sure that's accurate because every scanner on the face of the earth ever made from any manufacturer to work on any operating system is going to miss stuff. Just because of the nature, the bad guys are always one step ahead, and the good guys are always playing catch up.
Okay.
So, when I go down the list, you're going to hear some repetitive type tools as well. And some people are going to think, well, he's just mentioning them. Well, in some cases, no, I actually run all of them. I'll just dive in and I'll get started.
Okay.
The first section of tools I want to talk about was boot media, which of course, if anybody knows me, like 90+% of my jobs I do via LogMeIn or some other remote software. So I don't get a chance to run these tools a lot, but I do feel like they are very important in the overall process.
Okay.
The first couple ones are pretty much single-use kind of tools. There is a Kaspersky Rescue CD, which is just what it sounds like. It's just a boot antivirus scanner. I always plug up the computer via hard wire because the Linux back end always does a great job of picking up the NIC and running DHCP and getting on the net.
Okay.
It always works great. And the main reason I run this a lot is I feel it's so much more thorough running an AV scan outside of the native OS. If anybody watched that Mark Senovich video that I posted a while back, a rootkit itself is not a bad thing. A rootkit is a tool used by the bad files to hide. Well, it basically does kernel level interruption to interrupt calls from one piece of software to the hardware, and it says, if you find these files, ignore them. They don't exist. So when you do your scans in the OS, the files don't even show up as being there.
Okay.
When you do a scan outside of the operating system via a boot disk, there's no rootkit. It cannot affect the scan at all. So you're more likely to find a rootkit that way.
And Kaspersky, is that the first step you do? You run that?
That's the first step I do when I get a computer in that I know has something on it.
Okay. So you don't even go into Windows. Not even worth it.
No. The very first thing I do when I get a computer is I either run that, or if I know it's a horrendous